can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, may the Almighty be our highest strength.
It was a few years later. I had become a very wild and unruly child. I did not know how to express myself. Kicking and screaming, I tried moving my lips, but nothing came out of my mouth like it did for others. My mother's lap was the only place that gave me comfort. My parents were losing hope and increasingly letting me have my way, which greatly annoyed my brother Jimmy and my friend Martha. Even with a loving family all around me, I felt only loneliness and anger. That was all I knew, until my miracle worker came along.
Ow! Helen, this is my dog. Let go. What are you doing?
Oh dear, Martha and Helen are causing a scene and quarreling again. What's new? Something like this happens almost every Sunday.
Helen is becoming very difficult, and her parents do not seem interested in taking a firmer stance.
I've heard that Helen's relatives keep urging the Kellers to put her in an institution, but the Kellers won't have it.
You're always making excuses for her behavior.
Pardon me, Captain. There's a Dr. Bell and a Mr. Agnos here to see you.
Hello, Captain Keller and Mrs. Keller. My name is Dr. Alexander Graham Bell, and this here is Mr. Michael Anagnos, the director of the Perkins Institute for the Blind.
Ah, yes. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, Dr. Bell and Mr. Anagnos. This is my wife, Kate, our daughter, Helen, and our son, Jim. Thank you for taking the trouble to come all this way.
It is a pleasure to meet all of you. Dr. Bell showed me the letter you had sent him, and we believe we can help Helen.
Yes, as I explained in the letter, Helen, she's growing to be very difficult. Perhaps she needs instruction and discipline.
Discipline
a deaf, blind, and mute child? No, she just needs to be protected and loved.
Yes, Mrs. Keller, all children need both love and discipline, and we know just the person.
Yes, a teacher by the name of Anne Sullivan. She is a recent graduate of our institute and will be an excellent guide for Helen because Miss Sullivan was once blind herself.
Yes, she has had 9 eye operations, one most recently. Of course, Helen will be a challenging student, but Miss Sullivan is equally determined.
I have taken the liberty and written to Miss Sullivan. She has already agreed to come and meet Helen.
That's wonderful. The two of you are so kind. We're immensely grateful for your guidance.
Yes, God must have a plan for our little Helen.
And then it would send a beacon of hope into our home.
Oh, yes. It's just ahead and on your right, once you pass the pond.
Mother, can she see her way there? Mother says I should always hold her hand when we go outside. Would you like to hold my hand? Or you can hold my hand. I know Helen really well and I can guide you there.
Pardon my two daughters. Do you need me to guide you there? On account of your...
How kind of you to offer, Nancy, but I have never let my vision or these spectacles keep me from accomplishing any task.
My thought was my mother. Someone took it. Someone who would reveal all things to me. The wordless cry of my soul was answered, and the light of love shone on me that very day. She would be the one to guide me, believe in me, and show me my world.
D-O-L-L. Doll. Good. G-O-O-D.
I do hope you can help our little Helen. Helen is my best friend. I hope you will be able to help her, Miss Sullivan.
I will do my best.
Breakfast is served.
It is all right. Give it to her, Jimmy. If we give Helen what she wants, we can all be at peace. This is the second tantrum this morning.
Is there anything Helen doesn't get when she misbehaves? I would very much like Helen and I to spend some time together after breakfast.
Alone? I really don't.
Of course you can, Miss Sullivan. After all, Helen is your student now. Come, dear. Come along, Jimmy.
It took me only a few minutes to understand that Helen had an active mind that only needed to be taught manners and discipline. Helen was treated like a disabled child, but she was not disabled, just enabled in a different way. I could sense that she yearned to communicate with the world around her, and so I began by teaching her the letters first and then words. To imitate first, even though understanding the meaning of the words would come later. My greatest obstacle was that Helen was overly pampered with a love that arose from pity. She was stubborn and allowed to have her way. To undo all this, I had to take a firm step in her education and put forth an unconventional request of her parents.
In all these months with you, Helen has learned so many words. I'm waiting for the day when she will use these words to communicate with us.
Yes, she is learning, but can I be most sincere, Mrs. Keller? Whenever she refuses to behave, you both coddle her, and it undoes all the progress she's made. Therefore, I would like to use your guest cottage to teach her privately and without interruptions.
Coddle her? You obviously know nothing of a mother's love, Miss Sullivan.
A mother's love can sometimes be too gentle for the task it needs to accomplish. Don't mistake me, Mrs. Keller. All of us want Helen's restless spirit to be remedied through education.
Will we be allowed to see Helen at all?
Yes, of course. You may visit at any time, permitted that it does not interfere with her studies.
My heart does not wish to be away from my daughter, but if this is for her best interest, then
It is, Mrs. Keller. I have never seen a student as gifted as Helen, and I can only pray that I am a worthy enough teacher to guide her towards realizing her potential.
It's just the weight of the world. When your heart's heavy, I will lift it for you. Don't give up, because you want to be heard. If silence keeps you, I will break it for you.
Mother, yes. Oh, Helen, you know who I am. That means the world to me.
Father.
Oh, Helen, I have waited so long to hear you call me father.
Me? Teacher. Teacher.